Okay, Rich Van Tassel here with you, giving you the breakdown now for Week 16 of the NFL season. You had the Oakland Raiders come from behind to defeat the San Diego Chargers the other day. Of course, today is Saturday, the 26th of December. We usually do this Friday, but with Christmas, we're a little backed up. We do have a Saturday game tonight. It's a big one. The Washington Redskins at 7-7 are traveling to Philadelphia to play the 6-8 Eagles. Injuries for the Redskins: Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver Chris Thompson, the running back, are probable. Matt Jones, the running back, is questionable. And for the Eagles, there are no injuries listed now. If Washington is able to win this game, they will win the division. If Philadelphia is able to win this game, they will be in control of their own destiny. So they're still in control of their own destiny. A win next week against the Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles will win the division. Now Washington is 1-5 on the road. They have not been a good road team. Obviously, Kirk Cousins has been very good at home. They're 6-2 at home. They don't play another home game this season, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Washington goes about this. DeMarco Murray has not run the ball well for Philadelphia, and I don't expect Philadelphia is going to need to run the ball that well in this game to be successful. Rashad Breeland, the cornerback for the Redskins, is one of their better players, so look for him to be matching up against, I guess it would be Jordan Matthews, the top receiver. Certainly numbers-wise, I'm trying to think if there's anyone else who really scares you on the Eagles. Riley Cooper, not really much of a downfield threat, so I look for Rashad Breeland to be on Jordan Matthews, but I don't even think Breeland's that great of a defensive player. So I don't think that Philly's going to need to run the ball that well. I'm going to take the Eagles in this game. I don't see how Washington's going to figure out how to win on the road just yet, especially in such a big game. And it's going to come back to bite them, and they may lose out because I think Philadelphia is going to get the division. As bad as it's been in Philadelphia this year, I just see them coming away with the division the way it's looking up and the way the schedule is set up. So I'm going to take the Eagles, and I'd like the score to be 27-20. And Kirk Cousins is going to continue his problems on the road. All right, up next, the New England Patriots at 12-2 are traveling to New York to play the Jets. We're 9-5. Injuries for the New England Patriots all listed as questionable. Danny Amendola, wide receiver. Brandon LaFell, wide receiver. Scott Chandler, tight end. Dante Hightower, linebacker. Devin McCourty, cornerback. For the Jets, David Harris is probable. Dean Milliner, the cornerback, is doubtful, and Quincy Enunwa, the wide receiver, is questionable. Jets can win out and still miss the playoffs, so certainly they are really in must-win time. They're basically in playoff mode now. I do think there are games that Pittsburgh and Kansas City can lose in their final two, considering all those are all the teams that are 9-5 and on top of the wild card. However, that would mean that the Jets would have to win out, regardless. So it's going to be very tough for the Jets to make the playoffs. We'll see what they can do. Can Ryan Fitzpatrick keep playing as well as he's been playing during this current four-game winning streak for the Jets? They had that win against the Cowboys last week where they were able to come from behind to really calm things down. They did not get off to a good start, but they showed some character in that game. Brandon Marshall is going to have to really carry this team to a victory. You look at his numbers: 93 receptions, 1,261 yards, 11 touchdowns. New England, their secondary is not spectacular. They do have Malcolm Butler, who I expect will be on Brandon Marshall all game long. But Brandon Marshall's just been too good, and as good as Malcolm Butler has played, it's really going to be key for Brandon Marshall to carry this team to victory. Chris Ivory running the ball. You want to try to keep Tom Brady off the field. I was reading that the Jets want to keep Tom Brady from throwing the ball a lot. They want to force him into running situations by playing more of their secondary players, or more players in the secondary, that is, not secondary as far as talent-wise. I think that the Jets are going to lose this game. I would like to see them win. I think they're going to be very competitive, but I think New England is still going to be playing in this game and still going to be focused, and I believe that they are going to get the job done. And I'm taking New England to win the game 30-21 until the Jets show that they can beat this team. I'm going to go with the Patriots every time. All right, up next, Houston Texans at 7-7, traveling to Tennessee to play the Titans, who are 3-11. Injuries for the Texans: J.J. Watt, defensive end, probable. Brian Hoyer, quarterback, is out. For the Titans, Kendall Wright, wide receiver, Harry Douglas, wide receiver, Delaney Walker, tight end, are all probable. Now, Houston in control of their own destiny. They win out, they will win that division. They could even lose a game, and I would expect Indianapolis and Jacksonville to both lose at some point to clinch the division for the Texans. But certainly in control of their own destiny, and they really have a very good opportunity, especially playing a poor Tennessee Titans team here. They do have Brandon Weeden starting. They are without Brian Hoyer and T.J. Yates, who are both injured. Brandon Weeden, we saw he was struggling in Dallas. However, I thought it was a lot more to do with just bad play calling. Just too conservative on the play calling in Dallas, but that's not the topic here. It's not like Brandon Weeden's going to have to be spectacular for them to beat the Titans. The Titans are a very poor team. They're not improving. Marcus Mariota is done for the season now. I don't know who is going to get the start for the Titans. Oh, it will be Zach Mettenberger. So Mettenberger's not even that bad. He's certainly a different, more pro-style quarterback than Marcus Mariota is. Marcus Mariota likes the read option. Zach Mettenberger is a much more drop-back, down-the-field passer. DeAndre Hopkins is having a really monster year. We just talked about Brandon Marshall. DeAndre Hopkins, 97 receptions, 1,315 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So quietly, he's been very under the radar this year. But is Brandon Weeden going to be able to get him the ball? That's the question I'm looking for in this game. DeAndre Hopkins is good, but Brandon Weeden hasn't been playing much this season. He's still learning a new offense, so I expect Houston to run the ball. Alfred Blue is their top runner since Arian Foster went out, so this is a very interesting game in the sense that I wonder how Houston's offense is going to be clicking. And though their defense is just too good and Tennessee's too poor, but I expect it to be low scoring because I think the offense is going to struggle for Houston. They better be careful in this game not to give one back against a terrible division team, especially with their quarterbacks out. But I think they're going to be able to find a way, and I like them winning this game 20-16 in favor of the Houston Texans. All right, up next, the Cleveland Browns at 3-11, traveling to Kansas City to play the 9-5 Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs tied with the Steelers and the Jets at 9-5 for those three teams for the two wildcard spots. And Kansas City has won 8 straight games. Okay, injuries for the Browns. Andrew Hawkins, wide receiver, injury reserve. Marlon Moore, wide receiver, questionable. Duke Johnson Jr., running back, questionable. Isaiah Crowell, running back, probable. Chiefs, Tamba Ali, linebacker, questionable. DeAnthony Thomas, wide receiver, probable. Spencer Ware, running back, probable. This is one of those games where the Chiefs, they're rolling. I don't expect them to have a letdown game against the Browns, but anything is certainly possible. It's going to be very interesting to see how this game develops in the first quarter. If the Chiefs are sluggish and the Browns maybe jump out 10, 14 points, I think Kansas City is going to be scrambling the rest of the game, and they're going to feel the desperation and will probably lose. Kansas City may come out slow, but Cleveland does not take advantage of it because Cleveland just isn't that good of a team, and that will allow Kansas City to rebound and come back. Or Kansas City will just blow Cleveland out to begin with. I'm liking the two scenarios to happen first. I don't think that Cleveland is going to get blown out. This is going to be more interesting than you would expect. I don't think Kansas City is going to be necessarily that sluggish, but I don't think they're going to put Cleveland away early. I'm expecting a few mistakes that is going to make it difficult for them, but they don't fall too far behind because Cleveland's just not that good. And I believe that the Chiefs are going to be able to come out of this one and keep rolling. I like it 23-20 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Manziel is able to keep this game very close for most of the way through. Okay, and next, the Indianapolis Colts at 6-8 are traveling to Miami to play the 5-9 Dolphins, two teams that are having very disappointing years. Injuries for the Colts: DeJuan Smith, cornerback, is on injury reserve. Matt Hasselbeck, quarterback, probable. Dante Moncrief, wide receiver, questionable. For the Dolphins, Jelani Jenkins, linebacker, questionable. Jarvis Landry, wide receiver, probable. Rashard Matthews, wide receiver, questionable. Lamar Miller, running back, probable. Devontae Parker, wide receiver, probable. Miami's eliminated. Indianapolis has to win to keep pace. They have been terrible this year, Indianapolis. I was expecting a lot more from them. Obviously, the injury to Andrew Luck, that is, has to play a role in this. But they've just been sluggish. They've been inconsistent. Frank Gore, who was off to a good start, has really started to tail off. And it just hasn't clicked this year for the Indianapolis Colts. Chuck Pagano, I don't think deserves it, but I definitely think he's going to be fired in the offseason, even if this team rallies to make the playoffs. For the Dolphins, they have had a terrible year. Ryan Tannehill, again, a lot of passes to get the yardage he has. He almost has 200 incompletions on just over 500 passes, which, I mean, he's probably, right around 63%. Looking at it, just doing the calculations off the top of my head. Um, Not even 4,000 yards either with the amount of passes he's thrown, 11 interceptions, so he has not been good. And the Dolphins are just a disappointing team. They're probably even more disappointing than the Colts because the Colts did have the injuries in this situation, whereas the Dolphins really didn't. They've had their starting quarterback all year long, and they just can't get it together. So, uh, Dolphins, yeah, you really got to look at them and wonder what exactly happened and where this team is going. The Colts need it badly. Miami's lost a couple in a row here, so I'm really curious to see how this one breaks. I'm expecting Indianapolis to make their last stand here because they still have some too much to play for than Miami does, and I think Miami probably will come out a bit hesitant in this game. I'm gonna pick the Colts probably against my better judgment, but I like this score to be 31-17 in favor of Indianapolis. All right, so we're going to do it in parts again. That's part one, just as we do with the radio stations. So be sure to stay tuned, and we will be coming back with part two a little later on today, Saturday, December 26th. Thank you.